you can flip it, and we're going to do one by hand, one in your calculator. All right, we're going to follow these steps exactly as we see them. Okay, step one, well, actually step 0. Write the matrix first. You should be a little bit used to this now. I can't remember what the method we used yesterday. Oh, what, Kramer's rule? Okay, so kind of like Kramer's rule, you're going to use the coefficients. We're not writing a determinant. We're writing the actual matrix. So 3, -4, 5, 2, but then we're also going to include what's after the equal sign, 1 and 19. I'm going to scoot this up. Okay, so that's just like the original matrix. That's what we get from this system of equations, okay? So you do have to have what's after the equal sign, so make sure you have 1 and 19. The goal is to get this to be 1, 0, 0, 1, and then these numbers over here on the right side will change, okay? So step 1, obtain 1 as the first element of the first column. So I'm going to highlight what we're focusing on, okay? So first thing we're going to look at is we want this 3 to turn into a 1. Make this a 1. This is, make your notes helpful today, okay? Because otherwise this is going to be confusing. You need to make this a 1. In order to make it a 1, you multiply. I could multiply 3 by what to get it to be 1? 1/3. Okay, so you're going to make a note out to the side. 1/3 times not just that element, because that isn't how we do matrices, or that's not how we do systems. Just like if we were doing this just like by normal elimination, you have to multiply this entire equation by 1/3, not just 3x. So we're going to multiply the entire row by 1/3 and then rewrite. One baby step at a time. Okay. So if I multiply that first row by 1/3, I now have, what, 1? So ding, that's what we want. But everything else gets weird. Okay, so -4 now becomes -4/3. Yeah. And 1 becomes 1/3. You haven't done anything to the second row right now, so you're going to leave it. 4 to 19. Okay, so we multiplied row 1 by 1/3 so that we could get that to be 1. Now we're going to focus in on this guy. Step 2 says, use the first row to transform the remaining entries in the first column to 0. So 5 needs to become a 0. We'll make a little note. Make this a 0. Okay, it would be a bad idea to multiply the entire row by 0, because then you can't get this number 2, this one where 2 is, to be 1 later on. So we don't want to multiply by 0. You're going to instead add. Look right above it. If I multiply 1 by something, then I could add it to 5. What would I need to add to 5 to make it 0? -5. Which, since this is 1, it's actually pretty easy to do that. So we're going to multiply the top row by -5, because that spot has a 1. -5 times row 1, and then you're going to add it to row 2. So you're always using row 1 to add to row 2, just like you would do in like regular elimination, okay? So multiply 1 by -5, and I would get, I would get -5. I add that to 5, and I would get 0. So leave row run for now. Sorry, I copy that. Okay, now you're going to multiply the next element. So you're not adding to -5 to everything. You're multiplying this top row by -5. So -4/3 times -5. You can use a calculator. You can use your brain. You just multiply -5 times -4. So it's positive 20/3. But then you add it to 2. So you can use a calculator if you want. 2 plus 20/3 would be, this is really lovely, 26/3. And it's going to get ugly again because now you're going to do 1/3 times -5, so -5/3, and add it to 19. Can you do that for me real quick? So 19 plus -5/3, I guess it would be. You're going to get a really lovely number. Just kidding. Is it 56 or 52? 52? 52 over 3. Oh, we love it. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, but you're actually doing pretty good, okay? Step 3, obtain 1 as a second entry in the second column. So we're kind of going like around in a circle, okay? So now we're going to go here, and we want this one to be what? 1. Okay, so we're back to just multiplication. The 1s are easy. I think the 0 is where it gets confusing. How do I make this 1? What do I multiply by?
3.
Close. 3 over 26. So I multiply by the reciprocal. Since it's 26 over 3, to get it to be 1, I multiply by 3 over 26. So 3 over 26 times row 2. Everything in this row has to get multiplied by 3 over 26. Obviously, it doesn't affect the 0, doesn't affect row 1, so we're going to just rewrite him real quick. Okay. 1, -4/3, 1/3. Boop. Okay. So it doesn't affect the 0 when I multiply by 3 over 26. When I multiply 26/3 times 3 over 26, it gives me 1. And then you're multiplying 52/3 times 3 over 26. What's nice here is the 3's would cancel. You can do it in a calculator, but this is quick math in your brain. 3's cancel, 52 divided by 26 gives you a nice number. 2. So it's actually looking more promising now, okay? Okay, the last one is you need this guy to be, do you know what you need it to be?
0.
0. So make this 0. You need to add, multiply row 2 by something and then add it to row 1. What would I need to add to -4/3 to make it 0?
4/3.
You need to add 4/3, okay? So you're going to do 4/3 times row 2 plus row 1. Because you can't just add 4/3, you got to add 4/3 of row 2 because row 2 has a 1 anyway, so it's going to help you out. Okay, if I multiply 0 by 4/3, it doesn't do anything. If I multiply 1 by 4/3, that's how I get 0. So we can keep this, sorry. And then lastly, you're going to multiply 2. This one's a little bit more complicated. 2 by 4/3 and add it to 1/3. So I think that's what? 8/3 plus 1/3, so 9/3 or 3. You can do as much in your calculator as you want, but it ends up working out really nicely. So you now actually have your answers. You know that x is 3, y is 2. This is a system. Don't leave it like that. Your answer is 3, 2. You should be able to do a 2 variable by hand. I know. 2 variable you can do by hand. 3 variable I won't make you do by hand because everybody would cry. So we'll do 3 variable with a calculator. Okay? Okay, so we're entering our matrix. Now we'll pull from the second equation. 3, 3, -1, 10. Third equation would be 1, 3, 2, 5. Okay, at this point, I just need you to, I don't know why I'm zooming in so much, sorry. I just need you to type it in, okay? So obviously that varies based on a TI or a Casio, but go ahead and in your calculator, type it in under matrix. So you are going to type it in as a 3 by 4. It's not going to give you a little line bar thing, but that's okay. So enter the matrix, then quit or get out of that screen. Go back to the main screen. So either under options for a Casio or under matrix math for a TI, you need the RREF of matrix A. So you're going to see REF, that's not the same thing. I need RREF. I'm going to write down what you should get, and then if you're not getting it, you need to talk to me, because remember, you're not dumb if you don't know how to use your calculator, but it is dumb to ask for help. So let's see, I've got obviously 1, 0, 0, bar 1, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 0, 1, negative 1. Okay, which gets you then 3 answers. X is 1, Y is 2, Z is negative 1, and you write that as a coordinate. So 1, 2, negative 1. I didn't really go through a whole lot of directions because it's on your paper and everyone has different calculators. So raise your hand if you don't have it and I will tell you which buttons to click.